Hey, what's going on, all my YouTube folks out there? Back for another video on the KT Hoops channel. Today we're going to talk about next season and what are some of the biggest challenges to the Lakers repeating next year. Who are the top teams that are going to be coming back and really giving the Lakers a run for their money in the challenge for the championship next year. I'm going to give you my top 5 teams that I believe are going to be the Lakers' biggest opposition, biggest foe for next year. And I'm going to give you my reasons about why I think they're going to be those specific 5 teams that are going to be the Lakers' biggest opposition. So let's get into it. Let's talk about it. The first team I believe still on the list, the nemesis for the Lakers, will be the Clippers. They had a lot of internal problems towards the end of the year, a lot of behind the scenes issues, and of course that led to the firing of Doc. But that doesn't take away the talent level that the Clippers still bring to the table. Kawhi Leonard is still who he is, 2-time MVP, Finals MVP. He has the experience, and I think Kawhi, just like LeBron on this in this season, will be on a mission next year. They still have Palmdale Paul, aka Paul George. No matter how you feel about him, he's still a formidable opponent, and I think Kawhi will have him ready next year also. And then, not to mention, you still have, as much as I hate to say it, Patrick Beverly, Shamit and Lou. They still have the talent to, I believe, contend with the Lakers for the championship. And then now you bring it in Ty Lue. Ty Lue has championship experience. He has experience dealing with superstars. He was LeBron's coach for those years in Cleveland. And then and Lou brings a different type of attitude to the game, I believe, to coaching. I don't think he's as far as age gap is concerned with Doc. Because Doc, for the most part, had to give in to all of Kawhi's demands. That's what caused a lot of Kawhi and Paul George's demands, which caused a lot of dissension behind the scenes with the Clippers. I think Lou will step to Kawhi and Palmdale Paul and tell them, look, if you guys really want to complete this mission and try to take over LA, try and take the mantle away from the Lakers, you guys got to be 100% committed. It can't be when I feel like practicing or load managing, before you've even done anything. The Lakers take the mantra, the Laker franchise takes the mantra of until you do something for me, then whatever you've done with any other team in the league doesn't matter. And I think the Clippers are going to have to take that approach with Kawhi and Paul George. So at the top of the list for me, I still have the Clippers with their talent and their, we'll see if they're really hungry like that next year to make those changes and make that difference. Next up in line for me is the Golden State Warriors. And a lot of people on the mainstream media are picking the Golden State Warriors to be the Lakers' toughest opponent next year. I do think they are going to be very formidable with their championship experience, what they bring to the table with Steph, Clay, and Draymond being healthy next year, specifically Steph and Clay. But what else are they going to have? What team are they going to put together around them? Don't forget, let's not sleep on the guys that they had during the championship run, they had the Iggy's, of course, the Livingstons, Barbosa, David West, Jaja, Bogut. They had other supporting cast around Clay, Steph, and Draymond that really pushed them to a different level. What is that supporting cast now? You've heard reports that they're really going to go hard after Dwight Howard during the summer or during the offseason. But what supporting cast will they have compared to those championship years? Those championship years really were fueled by Steph, Clay, and Draymond, and then when they added KD. But they wouldn't have won anything if they didn't have that supporting cast. So that's what I'm interested to see with Golden State, what supporting cast they're going to bring back. They have Pascal, who made all rookie team last year, and he's a good piece for them to have. And then, of course, they have the second pick in the draft. So we'll decide if Golden State is going to keep that or package that and try and bring in some more help. Of course, with Golden State, you're always hearing the rumors. I've heard the Embiid rumor. Of course, this will be next year, them being a big proponent of going after the Greek Freak also. But Golden State, with Steph and Clay coming back healthy, their championship pedigree, I think they will be also a very formidable opponent as long as they can stay healthy and really build around their core. I think they'll be a formidable opponent. So I had them number 2 on my list. Number 3 on my list I have is the Brooklyn Nets. And of course, this wouldn't be until the finals, but on paper, the Nets are, and I've talked about this in another video, as long as KD and Kyrie buy into whatever plan Steve Nash has, and they can get along and play together, which I don't think they'll have a problem, and they both come back healthy, the Nets on paper are extremely talented. With Dinwiddie and LeVert, DeAndre, they have a enormous amount, and they have youth. They have an enormous amount of talent to really challenge the Lakers up front, with the upfront talent with Kyrie and KD, and then they have the supporting cast. As long as these guys all can fit into their roles and understand that LeVert and Dinwiddie, now you're not going to be able to get those shots that you were getting when you were primary ball handlers. Now you're going to have Kyrie and KD really as the primary ball handlers. How are you going to play off of them? Now you're going to be more of stand-up shooters, more specialty players. And defensively, what are you going to bring to the table? Those are some of the things that you have to do when you are a championship competitive team. You're not probably going to score 20 a game anymore because you're not going to be handling the ball as much. So how are you going to play off of Kyrie and KD? What is Steve Nash is going to implement, or what is he going to implement offensively, defensively, his scheme? What is he going to bring to the table to really put these guys in a situation to be able to compete for a title? I think on the East, it's not as difficult a road, but you still got Boston, you still got the Heat, who are going to just continue to get better. You still got Milwaukee, still got Giannis out there. What is the Nets going to be able to do in order to put themselves head and shoulders above the competition in the East? Next up on my list, I had the Denver Nuggets. And Denver is just going to continue to grow. They'll have everybody coming back next year. I think Jeremy Grant is the only one that's in question as far as his contract is concerned. But Jeremy Grant is a big piece to what they do. But I mean, even if Jeremy Grant leaves, you still got Michael Porter right there. You got Will Barton coming back next year. So Denver is going to be intact and in place for another run at the Lakers next year. Jamal is just going to continue to get better, and I think he's going to be a superstar. And then Jokic, I think Jokic has to get in better shape, because you could see towards the end of the series that the Lakers really weared him down with those three big men, the three-headed monster of AD, Dwight, and JaVale. And then not to mention Markieff Morris. You know, he plays really good defense down low also. So it was really a four-headed monster coming at Jokic. And I think his conditioning has to get better. But other than that, I still see Denver as a very, very dangerous opponent. You know, they have the experience now. You know, they've seen what it takes to what they have to bring to the table against the Lakers. Then I think Denver will be another formidable opponent for the Lakers next year. And last but not least on my list, I have the Milwaukee Bucks. I still think that with the Greek Freak there, and as long as they can continue to improve and put pieces around him, I still have to have them on my list of opponents next year, formidable opponents. I think another year under really fire for the Greek Freak is going to help him. But again, it's going to depend on what the front office does and what the team is like around him. He's going to put up his numbers. He's going to put up his 27, 12, and 7 assists. He's going to give you the work. It's everybody else on the team. What are they going to do? And I think another year with Bledsoe and Middleton and all the pieces that they had, Lopez and those guys, I think that Milwaukee really got the wake-up call when they played the Heat this year, and so I see Milwaukee coming back, being a force to deal with in the East, and I'm actually picking them to go to the Eastern Conference Finals and play against the Nets. I have the Nets getting to the finals next year. I think just with that talent level, they will be so devastating in the East. I have them winning next year. I don't think the Heat are going to be able to sneak up on people like they did this year. So I have Milwaukee and the Nets in the Eastern Conference Finals, and them ultimately meeting the Lakers in the finals. But that's my opinion on my top 5 teams that I think are going to give the Lakers the most problems next year, and who I think the Lakers are going to face eventually in the finals. So let me know what you think. Drop me some comments in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Turn on that notification button to let you know when I'm dropping content. And thank you again for another video on the KT Hoops channel. Peace. Have a good day.